Luke 19:8-10 says, And Zacchaeus stood and said unto the Lord, Behold, Lord, the half of my goods I give to the poor, and if I have taken anything from any man by false accusations, I will restore fourfold. Jesus said unto him, This day is salvation come to this house, for as much as he also is the son of Abraham, for the Son of Man is come to seek and save that which is lost. Our story today is called Dissembling an Idol and is based on Luke 19:1-10. Zacchaeus the tax collector was converted, and he vowed to give back fourfold to anyone he had defrauded. Can you imagine the conversation that might have resulted when he returned the money? Dad, there's someone at the door. His name is Zacchaeus. Zacchaeus? Judah's face flushed with sudden anger. What does he want? Under his breath he muttered, the little vermin. His young daughter didn't need to hear that. I don't know. Judah moved briskly past his daughter, clenching his jaw. If that little weasel even hints of more money, I swear, a thunderstorm of violent thoughts broke into his mind. When he saw Zacchaeus, he exploded. What? Zacchaeus reeled slightly from the verbal blow. I'm here to return something to you, Judah. What do you mean? He said in a tone that sounded more like, get out of my sight. Zacchaeus held out a small money bag. Judah was suspiciously confused. This man had robbed half of Jericho, collecting taxes for Tiberius. No one was more conniving and slippery with words. Fearing some kind of setup, Judah didn't move. What are you doing, Zacchaeus? Cynicism hissed through Judah's teeth. I'm dissembling my idol. Judah's fiery glare turned to stony bewilderment. What are you talking about? Judah, I know how strange this must sound, but you have every reason not to trust me. I'm here because I've defrauded you. I've charged you more taxes than Rome required and kept them for my wicked little self. I know that you and everyone else knows that, but now I've come to ask you forgiveness for sinning against you like that and to make restitution. That's what's in the bag. Zacchaeus held it out again. This time Judah tentatively took it. He looked inside. There's a lot in here. It's got to be more than you've overcharged me. Oh, yes, it is. 4 times as much as I overcharged you. I've got all the records, you know, Zacchaeus smiled. And why would you be giving me back 4 times what you owe? Judah's mistrust was not dispelled. I'm keeping a vow. I promised Jesus that I would repay everyone I defrauded fourfold. You mean Rabbi Jesus? You know him? I do now. He's in town, as you know, and the other day I wanted to get a glimpse of him, but being kind of short-legged, I figured the only way I would see him was up a tree. Wouldn't you know, as Jesus passed by, he stops, looks up at silly old me in a sycamore tree and says, Zacchaeus, hurry up and come down. I must stay at your house today. Judah gave him a puzzled look. Zacchaeus said, I know. I was as shocked as anyone. How did he know my name, right? So Jesus and the disciples came to my house, and in a matter of minutes, my world falls apart and comes together, and falls apart and comes together. Judah, when I was a boy, I was in awe of what I thought money could do for people. It seemed to open all the doors of power and pleasure, so I vowed to myself that whatever it took, I was going to be rich, and I kept that vow. Back then, I had no idea how empty being rich would be. But up until 2 days ago, I figured, it was better than the alternative. But as I sat in my house with Jesus and his disciples, who have nothing but God, Judah, I've never seen happier people in my life. And as Jesus spoke, it was like his words were alive. My heart burned with a longing for God I had never felt before, and with a deep shame that I traded him for money. Then it hit me like a clear cedar beam. I'm poor, not rich. They had God. I had a dead idol, money. They were rich, and I was no more than a beggar. They were free, but the only doors money ever opened for me led to lonely dungeons. My world as I had known it fell apart. And there sat Jesus looking at me as if he could read me like a scroll. Everything in me just wanted to follow him. I wanted the forgiveness and salvation he's been preaching about. And for the first time in my life, I wanted God more than anything. And suddenly it was like life never made more sense. Before I knew it, I was on my feet, vowing in front of everyone that, well, I would dissemble my idol. What, give away your money? Right! Well, some of it. This time Judas smiled. Later, Judah's wife found him staring at a small money bag on the table. What's that? A tax refund. A what? I think we need to go hear Rabbi Jesus. Rabbi Jesus? Why? I think we're poor. Some of our idols need to be dissembled for us to be free of them. Jesus knows what they are and how to help us see them. It may feel like we're losing our whole world to lose them. But that's okay. Jesus said, for whosoever would save his life will lose it, but whosoever loses his life for my sake will find it. And what will it profit a man if he gain the whole world and forfeits his soul? Matthew 16:25 and 26. And as Jim Elliot said, he is no fool who gives what he cannot keep to gain what he cannot lose. There are losses that turn out to be great gain. Take care and be on guard against all covetousness, for one life does not consist of an abundance of his possessions. Luke 12:15. And thank you for listening today. Have a good day.